Hey guys, James here from 5-Star Rating 22. Just doing a quick vid here for the New Year's. This will be the first video I upload for the new year. I thought about having the Harlequin being it, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit more for a New Year's thing instead of just ending part of a miniature or of the painting series. That'll be uploaded probably right after this video. So, anyways, what I'm going to do is just some quick tips, very quick, so I got to make this short. Hope everyone had a great time. I started in October, end of October, and so far I've had a wonderful time in the community. It's really been, it's growing a lot faster than I thought it would have. And so I need to thank all you guys for watching my videos, commenting on my videos. I really appreciate everything. And then to all the other video makers out there, thanks for all the work that you do too. So I hope everyone has a happy new year. And take care, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the quick tips. Alright guys, first quick tip here. Making or using aluminum cans, pop cans, beer cans, whatever kind of can you got. What you want to do is you want to take, after you've drinking it or dumped it out or whatever you do with it, doesn't matter. You want to take and clean it out, rinse it out real good. Make sure that you get it so it's not all sticky and stuff. And you can even clean it a little bit more after you chop it up. So then what you want to do is you want to take like a razor blade or your X-Acto knife or something like this, and you want to cut right along the edge there, right around the rim, and then also on the bottom I cut right around the rim there. And you want to take those then, and what you'll have is a cylinder. So then you'll take and cut right along the edge there, so then you have a nice kind of round thing of thin metal. Take it, flatten it out with like a jar, something like this. Just take it, and smoothen it out, and you can get it pretty flat. So now if you're younger, have an adult help you, definitely, and even if you're older, be careful, because after you cut this up and stuff, the edges will be sharp. So, but then after you have it cut up, I usually take it and I'll put it into like 2 sheets, or cut it in half, so I have 2 sheets of this aluminum here. As you can see, this is a chopped up can, so it's nice and thin here. And then what you want is something hard that has a slit in it. Me here, I got my sculpting board. As you can see there, it's thin, it comes to a thin, it's hard, and I can slide this in there. So then what I'll do is I'll take it, slide it in like that, hold it down right here, take the first bend up, push it out a little bit, take it and bend it back down, and just continue to do this. I know this isn't the most even right now, but I'm just showing you real quick here. So, and then you just continue to do that all the way through, and what you'll end up with is something like this. And what it looks like is sheet metal. And you can take and, like, see how I've done here, I've cut slits. You can kind of bend it out, make it look old and stuff. And what's really nice about this is it looks really realistic. Really good things for like orc pieces and 40K pieces, stuff like that. So it's nice and real metal-y. And cool thing is, if you touch it, it sounds like metal. So, and then all you do is take and prime it, paint it up, and you dry brush some silvers over it, and then maybe some browns and stuff to give it some rust effects, and you got yourself a nice piece of corrugated sheet metal. So, alright guys, that's the first quick tip. Hope that's helpful for you. You should be able to use this on pretty much anything, and there's a lot more uses for this aluminum, this nice thin aluminum, because it's actually aluminum foil. Is not as, this is a lot stronger than aluminum foil, and it's still thin enough that it's really malleable. You can put creases in it and stuff like that, and they're not going to come out real easy. Pretty much once it's creased into a certain position, it's not going to come out. So I like using it. Alright, that's it for the first one, guys. Alright guys, for my second tip, it's actually about green stuff. I asked a question previously about getting help with my first actually full green stuff sculpt, and one of the things they told me the hardest thing to do was the open hand, or sculpting the open hand. So I started thinking about that a lot and figuring out how to do it. Unfortunately, I don't have my one demo piece finished or on my model where you could actually see the finished hand, but I do have these practice ones that I had done earlier, so I can show you guys what I did. To do an open hand, actually what I did is I took and I just sculpted the palm part of the hand right on my sculpting board. It was a lot easier to do it that way. I didn't have to worry about the fingers going back and forth, because I did it on my sculpting board here. So what I did was I pretty much, so I sculpted it, and the backhand on this was flat. Now this is bigger than the one I actually on the model is closer to this size, but as you can see there. But what I did was, I put out some green stuff. I pretty much did one little ball of green stuff for the fist, and then I made little rolled up little sausages and just attached them onto the ball for the fingers. Pressed that down and then started to sculpt on it to give it the shape of a hand and to give it the texture of a hand. So, and then after I did that on my model one, I peeled it off, and what I took was a little thin piece of floral wire, and I got something I can show you here. And then what I did was I took it, flipped it over, added a little piece of wire right here, and then I added more green stuff right on top of this, and I snipped this off a little ways down, the wire off a little ways down, and then sculpted right on top of that and sculpted the back part of the hand. And that way, with the wire being in there, I had something to attach it to my the arm of the miniature I was sculpting. So then all I did was drill a little hole in there, slot the piece in, figure out the direction I wanted the hand in, and then I added green stuff around that and let that dry, and then once that was dry, I sculpted around the wrist area to make it look nice and connected. So, and that was a lot easier than trying to sculpt it, because I did try just sculpting it right off the end of the arm, and that was pretty much impossible. But by sculpting it half at a time, the front half on the sculpting board, and then the second half just right on top of the back of the hand like this, it actually worked out really well, and it wasn't all that difficult actually. It was rather simple. So I hope this is a good tip for you guys that are for any of you sculptors out there trying to do hands and stuff and having problems like me. I'm not experienced with green stuff, but this seemed to really work for me. So I hope it's a good tip for you guys. All right, that's it, guys. Hey guys, alright, here's my next tip. It's actually a quick one, and it's about making a homemade tool. What I got here is these are like nail files that girls use and some guys use for filing their nails or whatever. But what I found is that these things come in extremely useful for miniatures, for models. Actually I have no idea where you get these. I imagine you get them at the dollar store or stuff like that. I know some places even give them out, like you see here. This was a free one that the girl must have gotten. So what I do then is you can take and cut off chunks of it, and pretty much what you have is a nice little file. You can use like an X-Acto blade like this, and whatever width you want it or something like that, just cut it through, guide cut, regular cut, and then what you end up with is a nice little file here that you can use to fit in places a lot easier, which is really helpful on miniatures when considering that there's a lot of hard to reach places, and it actually works pretty good. It works good on plastic, it works pretty well, and it works good on green stuff, I found out too. So as you can see there, you pretty much make yourself your own little file instead of spending $15 on Games Workshop files. You could probably, your wife, girlfriend, even maybe if you have a sister or something, probably has one of these lying around that they'll give you, and you can use it for quite a while. I've had this thing for quite a while, and I do use it here and there, but it works really well for mold lines and stuff like that for hard to reach places, because you can pretty much cut it to the shape you want it. And if you do little triangle pieces like this, like I like, it works really well because you got this nice little piece that you can fit in there, and you can pretty much make it reach any spot, and it's still stiff enough because of the board that you can hold it back here, and file with it, and it works really well. It works really well. And if it's nice, if some of them are better, where I noticed on one side it'll be grittier than the other, one side's for getting it mainly down and the other one's for smoothing it. So I mean, that's even more useful yet for making sure it's nice and smooth after you grind it down as far as you want to get it. So that's just a quick tool, guys, that I hope helps you. I hope you guys find this useful. I found it useful for me. It's a lot cheaper than buying those little files, even though those little files last you forever. if you're looking for, you just don't have a file that works for you or something like that, this works really well. So give it a try. Hope this helps, guys. Right. Just to let you know, this one was painted up really quick, like I just painted it, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a painted model. But this is what it is. This is more fantasy based. Well, I guess it could be used in sci-fi, but it's for kind of like old school, wrapped up like wheat and stuff like that. So what I use is, now this is a little weird, guys, but you use the cigarette butt, the end of a cigarette butt. Here is you get these, you can buy like a huge thing of this. It's $2 for like 200 of them. They're just cigarette filters. But like I use the ones out of my ashtray, like after I've smoked them. But if obviously if you don't like that, you can just take them out of, you just buy some of these and just use the filter. So what you want is, you want the fibers of a filter, of the filter. Let's see here, see if I can get this open. There we go. Alright, so this is what you're looking for, the fibers. And then after you have that, you want to break it up and make it smaller. Just kind of tearing off sections of it. Something like that, And if you tear it too small, just group them back together like that, or whatever. And then once you have that, you need some string. Now the string I use, see if I can get a piece here. Here's a hunk of it. The string I use here, just take and wrap it around. And I like this braided string because it looks more like rope. So take it and just kind of wrap it around there to get it all grouped up. And then once you have it grouped up like this, you would take and make sure to keep this kind of in it, like, or keep the string together, at least for the time being. Oh, I don't have my tweezers with me, but you take your tweezers, hold it together, all together, mix up a little bit of water and glue, probably like 1 part glue to 2 parts water, something like that, maybe even 3 parts water, and dip it in, and then pull it out, and then set it off to dry. And then once that's dry, you have a pretty semi-hard thing, or it'll be pretty much semi-hard and but still workable with. And then what you'll do is you'll take it and give it a Devlin mud wash from Games Workshop, and you'll end up with something like this, where now it's pretty hard. You can still see the rope in there. Oh, and the rope I use is off of tea bags. There you go, train noob. Still find uses. It's the string off a tea bag. That's the little twine that I was using there. And then you take it, dye it with the Devlin mud, and you end up with something like this. Now once you have that, you just take it and dry brush it up in stages, some brown, and then some lighter brown, and then some like ochre type yellow color like that, and then and then last paint the rope up. So, and then you end up with something like this that looks like a stalk of wheat, or of corn stalk, or whatever, corn stalk, something like that, just pretty much grass that's been dried and stuff like that. And then you take those, and you stick them upside of fantasy buildings and barns or anything like that, and they look really good. Now this one's a little bit taller, but you can make them, you can make them tall, short, skinny, fat, however you want them. You can make them however you feel, and they end up looking, they look pretty real. They're pretty realistic, and it's something free. If you smoke like me, these are free to get. I know a little bit gross to handle or deal with, but if you wash your hands afterwards, who cares, right? So anyways, there you guys go. That's just a quick thing for making stocks here for fantasy or whatever you want, and they look pretty good once they're dry brushed up. So there you go, guys. Alright, hope that's been helpful. Happy New Year's, guys. Take care.